Hey, what's up, crypto hunters? We are back with some crypto news. Alright, so crypto hunters, listen up. Prosecutors seek from 40 to 50 years in prison for Sam Bankman-Fried for cryptocurrency fraud. So, FTX found Sam Bankman-Fried's orchestration of one of the history's largest financial frauds in his quest to dominate the cryptocurrency world deserved a prison sentence of 40 to 50 years. Federal prosecutors on Friday told the federal judge. So they literally went from 100 years to 40 to 50 years. And SBF, he's like 30 now. So let's see, how old is SBF?
Okay, this guy is going down any minute.
Good. Let's hope you don't take out some poor farmer while he's at it.
He was born in 1992. So he's 32. So Sam Bankman-Fried is 32 years old. 32 plus 40, 72. Plus another 10 years, 82. Wow, they want him. They will give him freedom at the end of his life. That's so sad for him because he is young. What he did is horrible, obviously, but it's horrible. And if that happened to me, obviously I would be upset if my cryptocurrency got stolen. I'm not sympathizing with the dude. I'm not backing him up. It's just crazy to think that you could throw your whole life away for just a little bit of fun. For every year that he had fun, they're giving him 5 years of punishment, basically. Every year he was a baller, you get 5 years of punishment. So, but for him, since the money was so much, he's getting like 10 years of punishment for every year that he was a baller. Usually it's 5, but still. So, prosecutors made the recommendation in papers filed in Manhattan federal court in advance of a March 28 sentencing, where a judge will also consider a 100-year prison sentence recommended by the court's probation officers and a request by defense lawyers for leniency and the term of imprisonment not to exceed single digits. I heard that the probation officers were supposed to be nicer to you, but the probation officer has recommended 100 years, and the federal prosecutor is just like, oh, we're just asking for 40 or 50. The probation officer must have really felt for the victims, because 100 years is wow. The probation officer is obviously working with the federal government, and they obviously thought that the federal government was going to ask for that much money. But still, 100 years? Wow. So Bankman-Fried 32. Oh wow, they gave you his date of birth right in the article. So Bankman-Fried 32 was convicted in November on a fraud and conspiracy charges after his drastic fall from a year earlier. Yes, we know this. Yep. So some of his biggest successes though resulted from stealing at least $10 billion. We know that. His life in recent years has been one of unmatched greed and hubris and ambition and rationalization. This is what the prosecutors are saying, and quoting risk and gambling repeatedly with other people's money. And even now, Bankman-Fried refuses to admit what he did was wrong. He didn't admit what he did was wrong? Having said, what is wrong with him? Something. Having set himself on the goal of amassing endless wealth and unlimited power to the point that he thought he might become president and the world's first trillionaire. There was little Bankman-Fried did not do to achieve it, prosecutors said. They said crimes reflecting a brazen disrespect for the rule of law had depleted the retirement funds and nest eggs of people who could least afford to lose money, including some in war-torn or financially insecure countries, and had harmed others who sought to break generational poverty, only to be left devastated and heartbroken. Yeah, I mean, those you guys speak up for the victims. What about the victims? That was messed up what he did, and he deserves the punishment that he's going to get. He knew what society deemed illegal and unethical, but disregarded that based on a pernicious megalomania guided by the defendant's own values and sense of superiority. They love breaking down that federal prison system. Bankman-Fried was extradited to the United States in December 2022 from the Bahamas, which is just a hop, skip, and away. The defendant victimized tens of thousands of people and companies across several continents over a period of multiple years. He stole money from customers who entrusted it to him. He lied to investors. He sent fabricated documents to lenders. He pumped millions of dollars in illegal donations into our political system, and he bribed foreign officials. Each of these crimes is worthy of a lengthy sentence. They said his unlawful political donations to over 300 politicians and political action groups amounting to in excess of $100 million is believed to be the largest ever campaign finance offense. I thought they were going to cover that up, but apparently they're bringing that right out in the open. And they said his $150 million in bribes to Chinese government officials was one of the single largest by an individual. Wow, those Chinese officials really took advantage of him. And shout out to them. Shout out to the Chinese government for taking free money. Hey, why shouldn't they? But still, that's pretty impressive that he made a blunder that big that they were like, yo, give us $150 million. For that amount of money, you gotta just bring the government involved. Like, yo, you can't just like pay a bribe, dude. Even following FTX's bankruptcy and his subsequent arrest, Bankman-Fried shirked responsibility, deflected blame to market events and other individuals, attempted to tamper with witnesses, and lied repeatedly under oath. 2 weeks ago, Bankman-Fried's attorney Mark Mukasey attacked the probation office recommendation that the client serve 100 years in prison, saying a sentence of that length would be grotesque and barbaric. He urged the judge to sentence Bankman-Fried to just a few years behind bars after calculating federal sentencing guidelines to recommend a term of 5 to 6.5 years in prison. Okay, 5 to 6.5 years in prison, that would be a sweetheart deal. That's what you call a sweetheart deal, and it's unlikely to happen now because of all the best way to get rid of a disinfectant is sunlight. So you put sunlight on the problem. By putting sunlight on everything, it removes the problem. Actually, I used to think that by not putting sunlight on problems, like maybe things that are embarrassing to you, would be a way to help fix the problem. But no, you gotta just expose it to the light. Like I got all this light on me, you have to expose the problem to the light.
Well,
So Sam is not the evil genius depicted in the media of the great villain described in the trial, Sam Bankman-Fried's lawyer said, calling his client a first-time non-violent offender who was joined in the conduct and issued by at least 4 other culpable individuals in a matter where victims are poised to recover.
We gotta work for it.
Okay, so that's the end of the article, and I wonder what his co-defendants are going to be like, because obviously they all told, but I wonder if they're going to get off the hook by telling on him, because it wasn't just like he didn't do it by himself, he couldn't have done it by himself. I wonder what's going to happen to his accomplices.